Hi everyone, so for today's lesson we are looking at initial ideas. Now previously you've completed several different things regarding planning for your initial ideas, so you looked and reflected back at your artist research and you summarised the images that you've effectively found from those, and you came up with a couple of bullet points for each artist and effectively decided from there what sort of ideas you wanted to take forward. So that should have given you a basis to start creating effectively your initial ideas. Now before you start doing anything else, I would divide your page in four. So you might want to take a double page in your sketchbook. I've just got a piece of paper that I'm going to do some rough doodles on. It's up to you whether you want to do it on paper or whether you would prefer to do it on something different. So effectively what I'm planning on doing is getting my piece of paper and just roughly dividing it into four. Now so with regards to that, what I'm looking at then doing is coming up with some initial doodles to go in each one of these different things. So I might want to look back at the page that I created last lesson to help me out with this. And effectively what I'm going to start off with is, remember I looked at Amanda Hislop and she had some pieces of work where they were like squares like this, and then had some threads going from one to the other. I also wanted to combine the idea of being young through to sort of birth through to death. So what I was thinking of doing is coming up with the idea of the child at the seaside. So just very roughly going to sort of draw in a figure there. And effectively what Amanda Hislop did is she would sort of drag the threads across to the different parts. So it might be that I wanted to start off here with almost a pram to sort of symbolise the baby, and then I'm effectively dragging the threads across when I create this piece of work. So it could be that I've even got more of these, so it's just kind of like a series of images that I'm going to then blend together. So I've kind of coming up with that, and effectively each one of these I think would have a figure on. And then at the end what I would be planning to do is something maybe involving the sea or maybe a landscape, and it might be have sort of crosses on or gravestones, sort of symbolise that as well. So I'd need to plan it out properly to give myself the full ideas. So it might be that later on, so from here, from being a child, it might be that this has then got the person with their own child, for example. Or it might be two people involved. So it just has to be very, very rough little doodles. They don't have to be 100% accurate. It's just to really show your ideas. Now with something like this I'd probably need to fully explain what I was planning. So this is just my initial doodle stage. So effectively each one I'm planning on having figures with, and then it's going to flow between the two. So that's an idea there. It might be that my next idea is just one larger canvas. It might be a wall hanging, and it might just involve the one figure. And I just need to think about how this is personal and meaningful to me as to why I've decided to include this. So remember, just quick initial doodles first of all for this very first stage before we start developing them further. So I'd like you to come up with 4 initial ones that you want to do. It could be anything, so it could be a finished product like a dress, it could be something more like a wall hanging, or it could be maybe sort of little canvases that you're going to then sew on. We can wrap fabrics around canvases as well, so just bear that in mind. So effectively my ideas here, I would then develop them into my stronger ideas. I wouldn't throw these away, I would hold on to those because they can still go into your work. But within here I've effectively created some more complex designs that would fully show. So each of these would be made out of thread to really show these ideas. My idea would kind of be that this would be sort of one canvas, and then this one would be another, and another, and another. So you can sort of see what I'm sort of planning with this, and how then I would put it onto something like this. Now you need to come up with your initial ideas. I can't tell you how exactly you need to do that, but you need to come up with your ideas by combining your artist research, the research you've done yourselves, to effectively blend some ideas together and really come up with a personal and meaningful piece to you. Your initial ideas should then be presented following the instructions on the presenting your ideas page, so make sure you fully read through that before you start writing or sticking anything in your book, so that you're clear on what the expectations are. For your initial ideas, they shouldn't all be the same, so try and come up, like the main concept might be the same, or else it might not flow, but the main ideas should realistically be a variety of different ones. They shouldn't be too similar. You can develop the one that you decide to go with later on, but the initial ideas at this stage shouldn't be too similar, as you're going to struggle if they are. Please let me know if you've got any questions regarding this, and I will do my best to help you.
With regards to this, you can also add on images that you've looked at before, and you can create initial ideas out of combining several different images together. So for example, with regards to this composition that I've set up here, what I was planning on doing is having these drawings that I've created previously, and combining those to create one initial idea. So effectively what I would plan is for the threads to sort of show the movement of these. So where this girl's on the swing, I'd like the threads hanging down to show the movement. Where this girl's on the beach and she's probably running along, what I'd plan is for her to have sort of threads coming down from here. And then this girl here, I would sort of try and create in the style of Amanda Hislop, all these images joined up together. So effectively my thread's going to follow up the tree trunk and then across to the next canvas here to follow the line of the sea, and then along to follow the landscape of this girl in the field. So there's quite a lot of options available to you. You can, if you want to, use things like the Lightbox to help you create these initial ideas. And initial ideas are all about combining sort of ideas that you've had into one sort of page of 4 designs. So what I'm looking for from you guys is a page of 4 designs that you've come up with that really show your understanding of your theme. So it's up to you what they look like and you're more than welcome to run your ideas by me first before doing that.